Whoa! Oh my God! That was insane! It was awesome, but it was insane, right?
It's Sunday night, near the end of February. I haven't done one on the outside of Ratchet and for a while. I was doing the last thing I was doing is putting up the fuel sender. But all the BCM and everything works now with the key, and all doors lock and windows go up and down and all that sort of thing. So I thought it'd be a small video, but I'll give you a little bit of a look of what it can do. Blink. So she's turned herself on. I still got to because this was a Calais front off a different car, and doors and guards bonnet. It's a more brighter white, as you can see. The two-tone difference in white. It's amazing how many different tones there are in white when you get white next to white, because this is white itself. The pod's a slightly different colour to the original colour, but yeah, I'm gonna have to be removing these decals. I done these decals a while ago with the sort of the idea of the heartbeat going up, and then I did have a pointy one up there at one stage, and then coming back down, and then following its lead. But I still got to, this is where I took off the rubber strip, and it really pulled, the glue pulled a lot of the deeper paint out. So I pretty much got to paint all that quarter. I'm not going to worry about painting the pod. I just want the bottom section of the ambulance to match from the front all the way down to the side. So yeah, I've got different indicators and a different V6 badge. Sort of looks like a V8 badge but with a 6, and that's in the, pretty much all my lighting is LEDs. So when I turn it on, you see that going on, and you'll hear Ratchet with the Transformers, with the sound when they transform, it's that ch-ch-ch-ch. So I made a module to go in the car when it opens, so you can hear that going. Obviously, if you've seen my first video on this, I showed all like the seals and yeah, Ratchet's LED red light and the Autobot transformer. So I pretty much finished off the interior. I've just got a couple little things. I'm still trying to chase one of these guides for the lock mechanism and stuff like that. But, yeah, all the buttons, they all light up nice. These are for the rears. I think you can get Ute ones that just had the electric windows in the front, but I don't mind having the full spectrum of all of them. They still put a few extra lights in the cab, so yeah, that doesn't look too bad. So yeah, and I liked obviously the Calais look, and there's a little Ratchet there. He's all glued into it, and yeah, the interior looks I'm pretty happy with the interior. It's come up pretty well. Got a couple little bits and pieces that I still got to muck around with, but with the ambulance theme, I put a Calais light because this is a ute, I would normally only have that light there, but I put a Calais light and secured that properly, and put the white light here because it's more better having a white light right overhead rather than right back there. And then I put the red, so it gives that sort of like reddish whitish theme inside the cab when you're sitting in it. Nice original Ks, 67,000. I think that's 855 from what I can see. Still trying to work out, like when I start her, starts beautiful now. Yeah, so rev counter's not working again. Sometimes the rev counter works, and then the rev counter doesn't work. And then the rev counter will work, and then I'll turn the lights on, and then the rev counter won't work. So I think there's a funny earth happening behind that. So that's what I mean, like the little lights, they all come on. These emergency strobes, so that's for your front dash red strobes. You can see them alternating. So if I go to the front, that's what those girls do. It's pretty bright, obviously. And that's just that one dash strobe going. Alright, so if I put on just the Parkers alone, you've got your, these they have air vents going into the pod, but I've got the LED going around there. These are pretty much boat lights, but they looked very similar to what they originally had. They had like one down here, but this is a boat light, but the same sort of shape and idea of what they did have on the pods. I'm tossing up whether to take off the Rambulance, the R off it. Don't know what to do. I don't know if it looks good, if it sounds good. Rambulance is a little bit different. Got the LED eyes and lights. And I've ripped out the taillights because I'm going to be getting into the sanding soon of the edges. And this gives sort of like a ambulance feel when you look in the back, and it's highlighted there. And then if you look, yeah, it looks ambulance-y with a few lights here and there. Then I got the white LEDs up the top. One's I don't know if it's getting a bit of moisture in it, but one's a bit, it's hard to see. One's a little bit faded off. But yeah, I'll put the headlights on again. So it's pretty bright. And if I put on the, what do they call it? This one, the main power. If I put on the alternated ones, that's just there. So that should then do my headlights, which you can see they're flickering. So now I'll take off the headlights and just have those strobes inside the actual the car itself. So that's purely just strobe by itself now. That doesn't look too bad. I mean, my top beacon lights, they will run by the solar powered batteries, so they're not all connected at the moment as far as just the power source from it. Just the batteries will bring them to life, otherwise everything's connected, but it's just the power source is not there. There's no battery at the moment to the solar panels on the roof. Yeah, so she's interesting. You can see the back reflectors that I built. They're reflectors, and I put the strobe lights behind. So you got the strobe lights behind, which you can replace the light or the bulb inside of it, and they alternate as well. I reckon they look good. So on the fence, it's pretty effective. I mean, you definitely thought you would think that there's a emergency response car somewhere. You're seeing that flick up and down on the fence there. So again, open this up. That lights up, and that also then wakes up the other Autobots and the other bottom lights. And we turn on the dash again, dash lights. And another thing is it's got its original map light. See, turn that on, and you can turn that off. I don't think I showed it in the other videos, but I have done sequential lights in the indicators, so I'll put the hazard lights on. I don't know what happened to this mirror, but it's not as... It's dirty, I know that, but it's not as... it could be... I just don't find it as bright as the other one. It took me a bit of mucking around to do those. But when you close the door, oops, you can see there, but you can really, they stick out a lot on the left. So later on, once she's on the road and everything's going and stuff like that, I'll probably pull that other mirror off and get into it. I reckon they look good. Gives it a bit more variety as far as when you're turning. I still got to, because they had a air conditioner in the pods. Let's turn that off. Let's turn this off. This is my siren controller here. What was I saying? I forget what I was saying. Yeah, that I forgot. It's gone. But yeah. Anyway. I hate when the thought goes in your head and then you're about to say it and then it just goes. Anyway, but yeah, everything looks good and works good. It's very effective. I like how little things like this I put in, that when you trip your main power, it lets you know that those things are on. Cancel the strobe. But yeah, ever since the fuel pump and doing all the crank angle sensor and coils and everything practically, she's running perfect now. And you know, all along it could have been, obviously it's definitely one of the things that malfunctioned was the fuel pump. But as far as the other things concerned, that fuse that's called start, it's on the start part of the engine bay relays. That could have been the problem all along. I don't know. It obviously runs perfect now, and I've replaced that. So, but again, I've replaced everything that's normally fails on these cars. Pretty much most of the things that you can pretty much do yourself. So you got the crank angle sensor, your coils, your fuel injectors, plugs, petrol pump, petrol fuel filter, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, this is the back. these came out with pretty much just a metal cage where I put black perspex on it, and sealed it in because I didn't want it just having a metal rack. And you can obviously they had the metal rack in the ambulance so you can see what's going on with the person in the back and the staff, but you can pretty much push that up. That was because I got some stuff on top of it. It's not staying up as good. I might make something so I can definitely put like a bracket on it. It's not finished in the back yet, still a bit of work to do, but that's the bed base, and got my trusty rockets in the back, and then it's got 4 cameras up the top, so that'll be the camera system screen on that. That'll record stuff. There's the Autobot on the wall and some lighting, but that's all pretty much all out the back is LED lighting, so that will help pretty much not take much fuel as far as running lights go. This is the CB. Should come on. This is more for cosmetic as well. I haven't tried to really pick up any stations or talking yet. This car hasn't been on the road yet since I put this in, so it'd be interesting to see if this works at all and picks up any truckies or something like that. But it looks good. It looks good for a cosmetic thing when it comes to an ambulance, because they always have CBs and yeah, microphones and sirens and all that sort of stuff. They did Richard in the ambulance group, he's got my control pad that was up the top. This stereo puts out the screen and then flips, and it was getting in the way and stuff like that, and it wasn't coming out popping out properly. So yeah, I thought I'm not keeping it original. So I thought my siren controller can be that one instead. I put all the alternating lights and dash strobes and the beacon lights up the top and all that sort of stuff. So, but everything's like on individual switches where they would have just clicked switches along here. So it's a little bit different, but still it still has all those features, which is pretty good. I mean, the siren's pretty loud far out on this one. I'll definitely make a video once she's on the road, and I'll go out to some back roads and stuff like that and pump up the siren and stuff. It does sound really good. You could hear it from miles away. But yeah, then I've got still got to work out this. That's a mirrored dash cam, even though it's not on the dash. I call it window cam. It's got a USB cord that goes up the top, and then it's powered up down the side and then down to the fuse box. And yeah, but these sort of charge up. These have got like maybe a lithium battery inside or something like that, so they take a bit of USB charging to charge up, and then that little square part of the screen comes up as a dash cam camera. But if it doesn't work, I'm gonna my power's dying on my phone, so the flash just went out, so this may die very quick. I mean, I've been going for 18 minutes, so yeah, it's going to have cameras. It's got cameras all over the roof, so I'm not really worried about dash cam so much, but it's another feature. Anyway, I'll finish it up there before my phone dies. And yeah, good old VS Commodore dash, showing good fuel, excellent temperature. Got the park brake. I don't know why the airbag's coming up at the moment. There should be no issues with that. Probably needs a scanner on there just to delete it. But you can see it all sort of glowing at night. The 4 lights and stuff like that. Looks good. Well, time to get inside and upload this video.